everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, we are talking about the power of a partner. And I don't just mean your player too. I mean, in business, how important it is to have business partners helping you. Now, I want to say it is not impossible to start a business or to do something on your own. Far from it. There are plenty of examples of people who decided to do something and they went off and created something fantastic and they made themselves a lot of money, built a big business. However, at some point, almost inevitably, that one person had to bring somebody else on in order to help them. And that's the point I want to make here is when you are growing something, it doesn't matter really what it is. At some point, you have to understand that it cannot be only you. You have to figure out how to bring on accomplished, skilled, and intelligent people who are able to help take you and your idea far further than you might have ever considered being able to do it before. Now, I have watched many different people that I've coached over the years just build fantastic businesses. And I've watched other people who already had fantastic businesses either see their businesses slip backwards or not really go anywhere. And after watching this over and over and over again, I think I can put my finger on the reason what it is. And it's that the people who are succeeding are the people who are able to go out and find people who have a common vision or common drive, are able to bring them in to be able to have them help on the idea to take it further. Whereas the people who didn't have that ability to find somebody else, or who more specifically wanted to kind of retain that control and weren't willing to see other people kind of come on as a partner or as an assistant in some way that's not just somebody that they hired, somebody who's really there with them, kind of knocking heads and letting them know that they need to think of things a different way, or are able to take charge of something completely on their own without the owner, the original owner, feeling that they have to micromanage. It's those people I don't quite see succeeding to the same level of effort. Okay. Just as an example, I have a client who, this past year just built a phenomenal business, just absolutely incredible business. And the one thing I would have to say that the owner, like the one guy in charge, had going for him is he was so good, or he is super good at finding people that would be able to fill in the tasks or roles or have the skills that he does not have. And I don't know how he does it, but he just charms them into either working for free or getting some small percentage of the business. And he's been able to grow it's one of the fastest growing businesses I've ever seen. And it was all because of his ability to get partners. Now, a couple of years ago, a couple of years ago, I had another client who already had an established business. It was a family business, and the guy came into owning this business from his family. He bought it from his family, and he was a little bit different. He really had to micromanage everything. He had to be the person who was always the final decision maker on everything, on every little decision. He had to make sure he was running the staff. He had to make sure he was watching the numbers. And yeah, he had people doing work, but it always had to trickle back to him, and he had to review everything before anybody could actually finalize a decision. And over and over again, I told him he had to start letting go. He had to let go and let people be free to fly, and give people more responsibility. Let them know that they were part of the contributing factor in this business. And just over and over again, he told me it's something I want to do. It just isn't me. I'm just not able to do it. And the Rona was just not good for his business. Hopefully he's still in business. I haven't checked in for a while, but things were bad for him and his business because of the fact that when push came to shove, when things got real tight, everything kept having to come back to him. And he didn't have the flexibility of making sure, or being able to make sure that people were doing the thing that they were meant to be doing. And he could have focused on what he was supposed to be doing. Instead, he had to really lock down all the different aspects of the business. He didn't have any time. And I know things were really tough. So understand this, it doesn't really matter what kind of business you have, unless you have an e-commerce business. But even then, like, you eventually will get to a place that you need to have other people in your business. You have to. Without another person, without a partner of some type, without somebody who takes the giant load off of your shoulders and runs with it, allowing you to focus on a different load that you can then find someone else to manage that and go. If you don't do that, then like it really limits your ability to have upward growth. And so, how do you find people? Shucks, that's a tough one. You just have to talk to people. You really just have to talk to people, and maybe you're not going to be able to find the person who's the right one for you by going to networking events, but maybe someone at one of those networking events knows somebody, or maybe there's a community that you're a part of, and you can just tell them, hey, I've got this problem. I really need a person who's good at these skills. Does anybody know something? Like Discord might be a fantastic place for that. And they'll go, hey, I know this person, or hey, this person might be willing to talk to. Or maybe someone's just sitting there lurking, watching you, and then they'll research your company before they get back to you. You never know. It's, a lot of the mentors that I've had over the years will tell you, just when you're at the restaurant, do you like your server, like the waiter? If so, maybe you could interview them for a position. You never know what kind of position they'd be good for until you really get to know what kind of skills they're good at. But if they seem like the kind of person who can connect with you easily and would be able to manage something pretty well, at least have the conversation. That's kind of the trick. You could go off and hire a headhunter. Okay. Now, headhunters, by and large, just kind of troll through job listing boards. They troll through LinkedIn, just looking for someone who's got certain qualifications. And then they're like, oh, here's a person who'd be fantastic for the job. Maybe they talk to them first. Maybe they don't. It really depends on the headhunter. The more expensive the headhunter, the more likely it is that they're actually in communications with the person. They might actually have a Rolodex of people who are executives or good for certain positions that they know and they've known for years, who have let them know that, hey, I am looking for something. If something comes my way, let me know. But then on the other side of the scale, you got headhunters who you might just Google headhunter, and the first person comes up is like, for $99, I'll find you somebody. That person is probably just looking through lists and has no idea who these people are, other than they might reach out on your behalf as a first call. Hey, you're looking for a job. I got this thing. Are you interested in it? But like, finding people is vital to your success, is vital to your business's success. I mean, think of Ninja, right? One of the most famous streamers on the planet. I don't want to say the number one because, right? But is he doing this on his own? Absolutely not. There's a person named Jessica Blevins right next to him who's his manager. She's kind of the business side of things. It's his wife, right? But she's the business side of things. While he's out there being the personality, being the person who's out front and playing the games and doing the appearances, she's the one on the back end who's doing, in my personal opinion, the hard work. She's the one who has to get him the partnerships, who gets him the business deals and makes it so that they make the money. But she doesn't quite get the same level of respect that he does because he's out front. So consider that, how can you find somebody to help you do this? Maybe you have to pay them. Maybe you don't. Maybe they might be willing to take some percentage of whatever it is they're able to generate for you. All right. So that might be a management company of some type. There's plenty of those types of businesses out there as well. The key here is stop thinking, how do I do this? If you can stop thinking, how do I do this, and figure out, who do I need to talk to in order to get this done? You ask a better question, and you're going to start searching for better answers who might lead you to the person who be the thing that be the one that you need in order to make your dreams come true. But you'll never get there unless you start looking. So I'm going to remind you all, organization is the enemy of sloth. Figure out what those aspects of your business or the aspects of the thing that you're trying to accomplish are that you may not necessarily be the best at. All right. If you're the best at something, rock on, keep doing that. But if you're not the best at it, who do you need to talk to, or who do you need to find in order to fill in for you that position that would be able to do better than you? Because one, it's a whole nother body that does all that work for you, right? If you get somebody full-time, they're spending at least 40 hours a week doing something that you would not have had the time to do. And two, if they're better at it than you can at least, I don't want to say ensure, but if they're better at that particular skill or talent or task than you are, you can be fairly certain that the end result of whatever it is they worked on was better than what you would have put out there. Just as an example, right? I am not a good web designer or web developer. I've made pretty much all my own websites over the years. I've made some websites for clients. I will never claim that I'm the best. First opportunity I get, I hire a good web designer in order to do the task for a client because that's just not the thing that I should be doing. Now, it depends, obviously, if the client pays me enough, right? If they don't pay me enough and I have to design the website, I design the website myself. But if they pay me enough, it's a higher end client, I'm going to go find somebody to do that task. Another example is I may not be the best person to run ads for people, to manage somebody's ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, other types of online digital advertising. But if the client doesn't pay me enough, I do it. If they do pay me enough, I go off and I hire someone who's better than me to do it because they're going to ensure that they get a better result. And ultimately, right, it's that old saying, you get what you pay for. So understand that you might be able to get somebody for free, but you should expect that level of quality work. If you pay someone who's high end, who has a proven track record, who knows what they're doing, has plenty of testimonials and clients behind them that you can go and talk to and say, hey, how did this person do? And then you get fantastic reviews. That person may be the thing that you need in order to get you to the next level, but it'll probably cost you. So really sit down, create a list of where you are lacking, and then start asking yourself, who do I need to talk to in order to fill this gap? Who do I need to talk to in order to have this type of skill in my business? And once you start asking those questions, it'll lead you down the path to finding that person. All right, that's what I want to talk about today. Don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.